Pues,
all right, peeps. We got JT in the house again, and thank you so much for coming by, buddy.
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
All right, so please excuse the mess back here, man. I'm still working on all my little deals going on, my little area here. So I'll take y'all with me for a minute there. So let me see. Jim Smith's in the house. TK, he's here. Band channel. All right. Every looks good, people. Thank you for stopping by. So tonight we are going to talk about saber woes, troubles with the sabers.
Oh,
Rich Titan, yo guys, got the drink in hand. We're ready to rock and roll, guys. Rock and
drink res-
roll.
drink responsibly.
I'm at home. I ain't driving, so it's all good from here, buddy. So, all right. So let's what like I said, we're gonna talk about saber woes tonight. What is the one thing, JT, that bugged the hell out of you while you were making a saber?
Well, mainly I had a lot of problems with just the way that like the electronics were fitting together, like the chassis wise. Like when you take the
Hmm.
chassis out, like the wires getting bunched up together, and that's just like perfectionist troubles, skill issue, I
Hmm.
guess. But I don't know. I'm not as into it as you guys are when it comes to building this stuff. I'm more of the appreciator, the consumer side of it.
Oh yeah, no, I totally understand. Hey, I'm still just a Padawan learner, buddy. I've got one under my belt. I've got well, I actually got two. I mean, but I've got one NeoPixel, right? And the other one was not NeoPixel. So, um, Jim, and Titan, you guys, tell me, what bothered you the most about when y'all are building your sabers? What bugged the hell out of you most? What was your saber woe? I mean, in terms of, was it wire management? Was it chassis making? If you all make your chassis, was it the design process? What was your most problematic part of the build? That's what we're going to get into tonight, is the problematic part of it, and but we're gonna have some fun at the same time. So you
Um,
know, got a little.
I
Go ahead.
I could tell you Anthony's one of the ones that he always mentions is at least on the earlier stages of him building the quad stars and that kind of stuff is having everything prepared and ready, finally doing the cut and then putting it in the blade and it just being just a hair short, like on the cut of the string.
Hmm.
But he's so deep into it now he doesn't make those mistakes anymore.
He's
So
on autopilot, man, when he makes
yeah,
those
he's
things.
he's on cruise control.
Rich says any Luke control box, laugh out loud.
Oh, that's actually true. Yeah, yeah. Even the yeah, because people like to light up the Lukes, right? Not the That's right. Luke has the arrows, not Kenobi.
Right. And
Yeah.
and I haven't actually of course it'll be a little bit a while down the road before I can actually get to one of those myself. So
Yeah.
I really need to make sure that I get a hold of my skills before I even attempt to do that. Because I mean, the saber that I built for my memory saber, for my friend, was a real challenge in itself for me. The hard because I actually, before I even attempted to make this, I took a whole year trying to design. I went back and forth trying to for the design of it, and then, of course, learning how to solder pretty decently took a whole year. I'm a
Yeah.
very slow learner, very slow learner. So, but once I get it, and
Yeah.
of
Well,
course, the end result.
as being a slow learner, I mean, the time putting into learning it makes you pretty much master it by the time you think you've got it. So like, it's 100% like progression thing rather than just making mistakes here and there, going back and forth, back and forth. You're just one steady line, slow, but when you got it, it's the same endpoint, right? So everyone has their own different speeds and stuff that they work at.
Right, and Jim's got a good point here too. He says that thinking that all is wired correctly, and then nothing happens at all. Jim, I felt you there, man, because I thought I did the same thing when I first started this. I probably rewired my friend Saber. Oh my God, probably 5 times before I finally got it right. And of course I burned out 2 boards. So,
Oh
and
no.
yeah. So, but everybody keeps reassuring me that it's a rite of passage. You can't make a saber without burning a board or at least 2 or 3 boards, right?
It's
So,
impossible. Yeah, it's like it's part of the trade, right? It's yeah.
yeah, that's what they say. I mean,
Yeah.
and I
What's
believe
that?
them. And
What's that one droid from the Clone Wars? The lightsaber building droid, and the Padawan's like, I finished before everyone else, and he walks up, and he's like, your kyber crystal is inverted, which would actually cause your lightsaber to explode. So
yeah, that was actually good, man. I love that.
yeah,
Rich goes, dude, I have a box of burnt boards. Oh man.
yeah. See,
Yeah,
it's part of the deal.
so does Anthony. And it's like every little thing can actually um burn out your board if you're not careful. I got really fortunate that this last time I had one little um I had one little wire, and you could not really see it. Um You could not see it. It was so tiny, but it was hitting the sides of the metal inside the hilt when I was
Oh,
swinging around. And I couldn't figure out why it kept stopping and starting and stopping and starting. And it was like, my God. So when I finally pulled it and really looked at that wire, I had to just cut the wire straight out and resolder a whole new wire to it, and that fixed the problem. Let's see, let's see, flashing a config to Profi and then hearing all that too familiar font directory not found. Yeah, Cincy, dude, I feel you, man. Um, and then Rich goes, hey, that's why I stopped doing CFX, Profi, Verso, and Golden Harvest for me only. Yeah, I've got one Profi, and I'm not even close to nowhere near ready to wire that thing up. And I want to get a hold of good, a really good hold of what I'm doing with this other stuff first, and then I can try to get a lot of help on doing that Profi 5.1, I believe it is.
yeah.
TK, that's how I
I only
found you
got
guys.
crystal focuses back there. I only got three. And then
Uh-huh.
the Saber Forge, whatever they're old, way back in the day, like 2016, 2015. Saber Forge font.
And I probably watched Rob Petcow, his videos on wiring up stuff and doing this and doing that before I even thought about one wire to solder together. It's like I was petrified on doing it. And once I did it and I got it, and I'm all like, I probably soldered like about 20 or 30 small wires together before I felt actually comfortable that I can actually wire them together and feel confident enough to actually wire it to something that will work.
Yeah.
Does that make sense to anybody?
Yeah, yeah.
Jim's all like,
Soldering's no joke too, because like just a little bit. It's like cooking an egg, right? Like you want a medium egg, just enough gooey, but not enough like overdone yolky taste. A medium egg requires perfect timing off the heat when you're when
right.
you're cooking it. So like just a little bit more time on that soldering, and you might have too much of like a glob, right? And then you have to fix that and clean it and all that nasty stuff. So
Yeah, and I mean it's amazing how much time can go by too. You're working on these things and you think 5 minutes will go by and it's already like 2 hours. You're like, oh
Hmm.
my God. And I find that you know, since he goes, oh, and the old Saber core, laugh out loud.
Yeah, Saber core Crimson and Viridian. I got the Crimson one in there. Yeah, it's goofy.
No, I guess I was a little fortunate enough that I didn't get any of those. And because of course, when you don't have too much money and you got to save in order to get what you
Yeah.
want and stuff. And after saving up for getting what I wanted, by the time I saved up to get what I really wanted, I heard a lot of beef about those, and I'm all like, okay,
Oh,
maybe
dude.
they may not be so good.
Before I even knew any of you guys, because it's been so long. I mean, uh, I forget even what video it was. I just randomly stumbled across it. Somebody had the exact one that I have in the corner. I'll go up and get it in a second. It's the Venom. Uh, but
Mhm.
they did a review on it. I'm like, oh my gosh, dude. I remember playing with lightsabers as a kid. Now we're getting to the point where they're like screen accurate, like brightnesses, like on camera. Like this is crazy looking. Like it's not your inaccurate, wall, and then like 3 seconds later you hear like the Black Series like stock audio just play and delay, um, which at the
Right,
time, like that being the only thing that you can get was a pretty big deal. Then they came out with Nano Biscotti and like those kind of things. Like, oh my gosh, I gotta send it to a third party and get it installed. I need an upgrade, and all that rolled out. There was a guy, I don't even know if his channel is even still up, but Sidious Sabers. I don't know if you heard about him.
it sounds familiar. It sounds
He,
familiar because I watched quite a few of them,
yeah,
and
he started collecting really hard. Like I subbed and turned on post notifications because every single hilt he would get with
hmm
one of the Saber Core fonts. It was like two to choose from, and then you can upgrade to Hero, which was like not worth it in my opinion. But
hmm
um,
Titan says he
yeah,
still wants to get his first Saber Forge someday. Titan, yeah, well, try to get it, secondhand if you can, bro. Because like, from what I hear, that a Saber Forge, is kind of tricky about things, man, and they kind of do you dirty. So be careful on that, man. They're saying that if you're gonna get a Saber Forge, he'll get an empty one, but maybe if you can get like secondhand,
get it installed or
um, uh,
something. Yeah, third party.
yeah, or even I think maybe on Etsy they may be a little bit better off of Etsy, that way.
It all comes down to doing your homework, I can say you
Mm-hmm.
could say that really about any company too. That's
Mm-hmm.
pretty much what I tell my buddies if they want to get a lightsaber and get into this because they're interested in something. Be like, oh, Corbranth has this, this company has this, and I'm like, look, if you want this, just get an empty of the best version that you want and then get it installed by a third party because then you know it's
Well,
custom to you.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But before they even do that, it might be a good idea for them to go and look for Lando Sabers because he gives all the great information on which companies to go to, which companies are
Hmm.
not to go to, how good they are, how bad they are, the reasoning behind all of it. He really does a lot of his homework in terms of researching companies. And he is a great resource to do that. And also, Benji from Nerf Herders, they can go to his channel and watch his channel, and he gives a lot of great information on what the costs are to make a saber, what's involved with it, the fonts, the cost of making the fonts, why they would, um why the fonts cost, when you get a saber, built, and you're going to put fonts on your saber, but you can't just oh, put all these fonts on here, that you have for yours,
Mhm.
right? No, I mean, you have to pay for those fonts because, those font makers, they're just like Sabersmiths
That's
as
what they
well. I
do,
mean,
yeah. And those channels that you mentioned, that's a business in its own because nowadays you see these random saber companies popping up out of nowhere, right?
oh
And
yeah, of
and, and they're
course.
and they're all outsourcing people too. They will have like their brand name over it. They'll just have a random video of some dude spinning it and be like, "This is our lightsaber," and then they sourced it from like Roman props or '89, right?
Hmm.
So it's tricky. It's a tricky gig because there's a lot of them, and like I said, that's a business in its own, trying to decipher what is the best and all that stuff. So
And speaking of City of Sabers, I do remember watching him, but he had beef with another font no saber enthusiast, and oh gosh, I forgot what his I used to watch him a lot too, and he would give a lot of great information on different companies as well.
yeah,
Um,
I didn't hear
and
any of that. Yeah,
let's see. Oh gosh, I can't. He was in Hong Kong for a long time, and then I think he moved to the Netherlands or something like that. Um, and then he moved from doing all the lightsaber stuff to, I think it was um the paint gun stuff. Yeah. So he's doing paint gun stuff now.
huh.
Um, and I'm sure he's still on. I'd have to look and research. I forgot what his handle was on YouTube, but I
Back
catch it every now and then.
back to what we were talking about before, though, when I referenced City of Sabers, was since
Hmm.
he bought so many of them with the Saber Core fonts, and I'm like, dude, he's the real life freaking General Grievous, man. I've never seen anyone with never anyone with a collection like this. This is crazy. More time passes, Nano Biscotti comes out, Neo Pixel drops. I'm like, oh
Uh,
shit, it just got way better. And then I'm
right?
thinking to myself, oh, that because during Christmas I had like an actual list that it was like my mom and my grandma and myself even I threw my own money like pitching in towards getting a lightsaber for like birthday and Christmas. I'm like, this is what I want for this year. This is this whole massive list of these all these customizations, different colors that are single to the blade, different finishes, what the blade is, all that, the name, everything. The biggest probably delusion of grandeur that you had ever seen. All that new stuff comes out, Neopixel, and I'm like,
Yeah, you're like,
th-
damn.
thank the heavens that I didn't act on my naiveness because I would end up in a situation with City of Saber. He's got all these sabers and they're low tech boards.
Yeah,
And that completely changed my view on things too because I was like, okay, I I don't need to have all these different lightsabers. I just need one good one with the best tech in it. And then I pretty
yeah.
much got everything I was going after, which was I'm happy that I was able to realize because I would probably have saved myself um, in the future to that. So yes,
You
yeah,
know,
that is
and one of the and one of the things that I kind of feel too also is hold on, let me address Chuck here real quick.
go ahead.
Chuck Alvarado says, I'm not fond of saber forges, screw-in blades. Great concept, but don't I just don't know. And you're right, dude. I mean, some of those blades are a little kind of wonky, from what I hear. They're kind of good and kind of bad, but it's like it's a miss or hit. Going back to what we were talking about though, Jay, is that I find that there's a lot more meaning getting some hilts that mean a lot more to you in terms of
Mm-hmm.
getting like those hilts out there
Quality
just to
over
get
quantity.
the.
Yeah,
Yeah, quality over quantity. Like my friend's lightsaber hilt. I mean, that has a lot of meaning, and then as well as my dad's memory build will be
yeah.
have a lot more meaning, and it's unique to me. And you have all of these different sabers, and I'm not dogging any one saber at all either. So don't get me wrong, but you have a collection, and you have some of these individuals that, oh, I need that hilt, I need that hilt, I need that hilt, I need that hilt.
Hmm.
And what happens is that later on they become dissatisfied with what they have later on, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna go sell this hilt so that I can buy this hilt, and there's no, to me, and I think some of these people feel like there's really no meaning to behind the saber. It's to have the hilt for a little bit, pass it on, and get a different hilt.
That could be said
Whereas,
about real life too with money. You get all these
mhm,
millionaire rich people that buy the stupidest things. They'll buy like a golden toilet with a mini golf course inside their bathroom, and they find themselves just like Thorin Oakenshield when he reaches the dwarven mines. The Moria, or yeah, something like that. And he's surrounded by all this gold, and he's like, now what? Now this is all I have. And it
yeah,
gets kind of depressed. So yeah, I understand that.
yeah, and I think that fits in with some of the saber woes,
Hmm.
um, because you're excited to get the hilt, but then it doesn't have that meaning that it used to,
The magic
and
it
you
was have.
want to have. Yeah, you really want to have that meaning into it, and then, so like one of the things that I do believe is a lot of the saber makers and saber builders, that build their own hilts. I think they're a special breed because they put a lot of heart and soul into those hilts, right?
Hmm.
And each one of those hilts is special to them. So when they actually do sell it, they are losing a part of themselves, and because they've built this quality hilt, and they don't do quantity parts of this type of hilt. They'll do a short small run, but it's a labor of love, and the woes for them, and I believe, and this is just my opinion, and it may not be their opinion, but the woes for them would be, they're doing only so many. They wish they could make more, but they that it becomes where, or they're going to keep one, and then they sell the rest, right?
Yeah, they make such
So
a
that
good
they,
product that they feel bad giving it out because they secretly want it because they did a good job on it. I know because
right.
I shown my Star Killer, my Galen Merrick hilt on this channel before, but that's one of
Hmm.
the last pieces that Shamim got to work on in collaboration because Christian Gale built that from scratch, one of one. Which I don't even know how the hell I was able to get in contact with him and he followed through with that, but that is like
Amazing.
the clouds aligned, right? And it's amazing. Everything I asked for and more. But yeah, like you said, it is a labor of love, and some of the work that goes into these things are insane. I know Sirach lightsabers, our buddy here. The amount of
Oh
time
yeah.
he spends on a lathe and all that stuff. That it's more than just metalworking. It's a lot.
Oh,
So
absolutely. Have you seen some of his pics, on his photos?
on Instagram,
Um,
yeah, I've seen a few. Yeah, with the
yeah.
leather wrappings. Yeah.
Hey, and oh my gosh, dude, I mean, they are such great pictures. And it I kind of think it kind of follows in through his work as well, because,
Yep.
such quality, beautiful pictures, it goes, and that love goes right into the quality of hills that he builds,
Yeah, but I love
and
that about the community
it's just
too
awesome.
because everybody has their own touch. You see someone's channel, they have a
Hmm.
certain feel when you watch their videos or you see their products, which is really cool. It's like
Yes.
everyone's personal brand.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more, because like, especially like Meg Tooth, man. And he does an amazing job with the Profi stuff,
Hmm.
and all the help, him and Fernando, those are the two best to go. Well, you got a Profi problem, man, go to them, because geez, they are wizards, at that stuff. And
I see you in the
um
occasional Monday chat over there on MagTube. Yeah,
yeah, I've got to support Meg, man. He's
yeah,
cool peeps, and he's cool peeps.
definitely.
For sure, for sure, for sure. And let's see, TK goes, "Yep, I want mine to be solid and metal and loud and powerful." Oh, don't we all? We want it
I
all
think the
loud
one
and
thing we're missing
powerful.
is that it cuts through actual metal and stuff.
You're
You know,
right.
we're getting closer and closer to real. It's crazy.
Exactly. Let's see. Jim goes, AZ Sabers, the one that Gabe got is awesome. Yes. Oh, and the font that goes with it. Oh man, that is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Rich goes, Sidious Sabers had some weird videos about his girlfriend breaking up. Rich, I think that's when he lost a lot of people right there because it was like, you know, I guess it would go with Saber Saber Wolf, sort of speak, but not really. But y you're gonna collect and stuff. Don't throw your dirty laundry out there. I mean,
Yeah.
kind of your audience don't want to hear that. You're a little sad because of that kind of stuff. I mean, hey, we're here to hang out and have a good time. I mean, not get down where real life is, dragging you down and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
And it's unfortunate to see that stuff too, because we wish all the best
It
for
is.
people, and I know another example is Rebel Scum, which ended up changing his name to Rebel Chumps, the Rebel Chumps channel, and then he just
That's the one I was
disappeared.
talking about. No,
Yeah,
that's the one I was talking about. He disappeared for a little bit, but he's the one that Rebel Chumps is the one that switched to the paintball
the
stuff.
paintball. Okay, okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you go to his channel, he's doing paintball, but and he moved from Hong Kong to I think the Netherlands or something like that, and then to Sweden or something like that. But yeah, he had a lot of things going on and he was very busy and um I he also ran into a little he was the one that had beef with the with that other Saber uh person um, and Sidious with Sidious Sabers. And it was funny to watch them though, because they were talking shit to each other. Well, not to each other, but about each other on their channels. And it was like, dude, it was kind of like a tennis game going back and forth. They would put in like small little hits on each other. And it was like, okay, who's gonna say what this time?
Get the popcorn. Yeah.
Yeah, get the popcorn.
It sucks because they both made good time content at the time, right?
Oh, they did.
So
Yeah, they did. And one of the things that I do appreciate is the in terms of content is when you have somebody so knowledgeable about the companies, whether they're good or bad, to go to them to not, and different items that they may have, which is good or bad. So like Rich says, Saber Forge screw in blades suck. Okay, yeah, I believe it. Um it's when I saw those kind of blades for the first time, I thought the concept was pretty cool, but at the same time, I didn't think they would be like as strong as they would have in,
is this
the
referring to just like the Allen key or
No, I think they're referring to the like the screw-in blades. Like I think
screw
they screw
blades?
into I don't know if they screw into the hilt or if it's
Oh,
the
like the
top that
blade is
screws into
actually
the
threaded. Oh,
Yeah, the blade is
I haven't
threaded.
seen anything new from Saber. I haven't been paying attention to the new stuff from them, so I wouldn't know. But if you
I
want to
haven't
keep it
either, so that's what I'm saying. But
rolling
I've
here, I'll
heard
let you
some.
grab that and bring it up to the camera here.
Yeah, no, no, go for it, man. Go for it. If you want to go and grab it, not a problem, man.
Yep.
Go grab it and let's see what we got. Bring it on, buddy. Bring it on. So, TK from Disney, love out loud. So, again, in as far as Saber woes, one of my most, I guess, my personal Saber woe itself was in when I started learning this stuff and uh getting all the wires and like you guys had stated that thinking you wired everything up correctly and then nothing happens and then you move one wire and this happens and then it's like okay, that shouldn't really be like that, but okay, so what do I got to fix here? And you got to go through all these list of things and you go down the list just to find the one little thing that's screwing everything up. And it's like, I went through hours just to find this thing, and it was right in my face.
Nightmare troubleshooting. It's like a fever dream. You start sweating. But this is
Right?
the Saber Forge Venom, which I got in the
Yes.
weathered finish. This is the first lightsaber I ever gotten. I've sold four of them. I have four, but I've sold four. Um, I had and the four I actually sold were also Saber Forge ones. I had five of them. I had the two like legacy versions of Satil Shan back in the day with the laser etching. Two
Mhm.
like stunt ones, but this is the Venom, and it's got.
You'll have to
You
forgive
hear
me. I
that?
can't. I can't do the put you large because I don't have my computer with me right now, so I'm on the
Yeah,
phone here.
all good. Still super bright. I got it on mute right now, but
Oh
still
my
super
gosh,
bright
yeah.
even on camera. Um,
The red looks amazing, dude.
but it just comes down to like the accuracy and the sound, and you're just like,
Hmm.
and it's delayed to where you don't want it, and then you get smooth swing. It's like, oh come on, smooth swing flash on clash. You can't go back. So this is
So
like
are
the
you gonna
reason.
get that one redone? Are you gonna get it
Ah,
redone?
I kind of like it just because it's so nostalgic. Just because the
Yeah.
board is how it is. But the
Yeah.
perfect version of it, yes, I definitely would get it redone if I were to do it that way.
Understandable. Understandable.
Yeah, but we were talking about Saber's meaning a lot for people, and
Hmm.
I'll say it again. And thank you so much, man, for the contributing towards Charlie's gift and everyone here at Civilized Sabers, um, meaning so
Oh
much
yeah.
for him and me because that dude's done so much stuff for people without asking for anything in return. So to do something like this. Um, where it makes sense because we talk about Star Wars every day, like hours
Yeah.
on end, many podcasts and stuff. So he told me one day, I don't think I told you this. He told me one day, "Hey JT, check this out." And he shows me, I'm FaceTiming him. He shows his tablet, and it's a cart with like a one, and he scrolls down. It's Star Killers, Sith Stalker from Ultra Sabers. And I'm like, oh, dude, that's sweet. You don't actually have that one, right? As an empty hilt. And he's like, what? Really? And I open my closet and I show him. And I'm like, this is the Super Sith edition. With it just has like longer claws and it's like more chromed out or something or whatever. So I'm like, don't buy that because this has your name on it. Don't worry about it. He's like, dude, are you serious? Dude, one day I'm gonna pay for you. Don't worry about it. It just completely went through his ear and right out the other. Forgot about it. He didn't end up ordering it, which I did my job. The work was done. So then it was just Charlie. Yeah, don't worry about it. I'm gonna figure it out for you, and then whatever happens, happens. All right. So just keep an eye out in the mail. And then I go over here with my buddies. Hey, I want to get this done for him. Can we do it? And I'm willing to do anything, anything. I got to get this done for him. And they're like, yes. And this is a Civilized Sabers group. And then I text Charlie. We signed it over. And I'm like, look, bud, don't expect anything within the mail in like the next couple days. And he says, why? What'd you do? And I'm like, don't worry about it. And I said, just make sure you record it when you open the package. And he did, and he was ecstatic. Uh,
It
and
looks
and that's
great with him too.
and that's so cool that not only that he loved it, but it is personal because of the way he likes Starkiller, just as I like Starkiller. Because back in my Instagram, I have my helmet with my Galen Merrick, and then the Sith Stalker version. I had both of them. His lightsaber is from my personal collection, so the fact that we talk all the time about this
Hmm.
character, about this franchise, and how he wanted it, and I'm able to deliver it in the best quality, better than anything I got because the Civilized Saber's blade is the brightest on the market. So I told him, I'm like,
Oh
look,
yeah.
this is actually better than what I have. So just, I want you to have the best of the best. You deserve it. You don't ask for anything when you get people stuff. You got to do it.
I
So
love all of his interviews with the stars too,
Oh
man.
yeah,
Oh
and
my
that's his
gosh.
gig too. He they started to
Oh,
notice him at conventions and be like, Charlie's like the unicorn of the your
Hmm.
group. While one of them, I forget who he was interviewing, they were like, "Oh, you're the Charlie. Yeah, they were talking about you." And he's like, "Oh, what did they do now?" The GalaxyCon people. But yeah, that was really close to me to know I was able to do something for my personal collection for a personal
Yeah,
friend, something like that. So that was,
right.
yeah,
That's great. Since he goes, I just ripped a no longer functioning board out of my last remaining OG Saber Forge hilt a couple of weeks ago. Time to put a Profi in it. Oh, dude, Cincy, go for it, bro.
time for an
Put that
upgrade.
Cincy in it. Yeah. Deck it out, man. Deck it out. See, and I think that so there. Thank you, Cincy. That brings another point in Saber Woes, man. So you have like that hilt that you have, and you have these boards that are kind of functioning and then not functioning and kind of like in between functioning and almost dead, right? So you struggle. I in you struggle with the fact, should I put a new board in it, should I not? I mean, what should I do? So there's one of the Saber woes right there, is a two-minded way of doing something. You either gonna upgrade it, improve it, or leave it as it is, right? Such as your nostalgic Saber, right?
It's the nostalgia to it, yeah, definitely. Because I would be lying if I said a part of me doesn't want it to be upgraded. But it's like Kylo Ren, right? Like
Right.
you're still holding on. Let go. So yeah, just to each
Yeah,
his own
it's
personal
kind of like
collections.
right, and it's like Two-Face. You got to flip that coin whether it's gonna be done or not, or keep it
Yeah,
as it
yeah,
is, right?
100%.
So that's great. That's great, man. Oh God, I'm having so much fun right now, I tell you. And thank you guys, everybody who's been on here and chit chatting and stuff like this. No, I'm not going anywhere right now, so don't worry. We're only 30 minutes into the vid, man. We still got a little ways to go here. So, but I just I wanted to take a time right now to let everybody know that I had Albert Flores from Smugglers, uh, send me kind of some samples of stuff. And man, dude, he kind of upgraded my Saber without really upgrading my Saber. So I wanted to show on here, and I'm going to bring it a little closer here. So I don't know if you can see the copper tape. So it looks like a little bit of a copper build, was just ironed on to that right there. See, and then I put a little bit right here in between each. There's one, and it skips each every other one. So
Oh, okay.
there's three spots without the copper, and there's three spots with the copper. So, man, and it just brought my Saber to a whole new level. And I really got to thank Albert Flores from Smugglers Outpost for that tape. And I just recently ordered a few things from him, and he's he's pretty hard at work and doing stuff, and he's a pretty cool cat as well, man. So if y'all check out a lot of stuff, and Jeremy and Benji and Albert, all that, they're all from Smugglers Outpost. So if you really get a chance, to talk to these guys or even watch their videos, they're very informative, they're very helpful, and everything else as well. I'm learning quite a bit from them. And Jeremy's a beast, man, talking and working on the sabers at the same time. See, Cindy, I was going to try to fix it at TK, but the board was covered in so much hot glue and liquid tape, it wasn't worth it. Ooh. Glue and tape, yeah. Liquid tape.
So
Oh,
sometimes it's best to step away from a Frankenstein's monster situation like that. So
yeah. And and I'm still trying to debate whether, that last CFX board that I kind of messed up, to send it in and get it fixed, or just leave it as it is and just buy a whole new one, you know? Um, I don't know if I don't know what the cost would be. Would it be worth sending in and getting fixed as opposed to, what how the money would be fixing it as opposed to buying a whole new one,
Mm-hmm.
where the difference of the cost is,
Just
because
like
you
a
still
car,
have to
man.
spend.
Yep.
Yeah.
Changing tires on a car, something like that.
Hmm. Switch to golden harvest, Rich said. Right? I have one, Rich. I do have a golden harvest. I haven't even put it in yet, so I'm still trying to decide which hilt to put it in. Um, Meg, I got some uh I got some boards from Meg. He sent me a couple and of the Prism 5.1s, and I'm gonna use those to put in my daughter's hilts. So
Nice.
they're they're a little not too enthusiastic about the hilts right now, but once I get them done, and I think they're gonna want to play with them, and once they play with them, they're gonna like, oh, Dad, this is great, this is great. I don't know. I'm trying to get them to get stuck in the Star Wars with me, but no dice yet. I'm still working on it.
You can always
Still working on
customize
it.
them out like jewelry like. I mean, what you just did here with the copper tape, that's like Mace Windu putting like making his out of Electrum, like that super rare Star Wars metal, just to flex on the other Jedi. So
Right.
to make it personal like that, super cool. I remember, and I go back to Shamim, man. A lot of the customs, cool like innovative designs he had. One was like the Thanos Infinity Gauntlet, and like had the jewels in it, and it
Hmm.
had an actual font. It was, yeah, a lot of that stuff.
Were did you get a chance to hear my friend's voice on the hill? Because originally I had told everybody the story that Shamim, I had reached out to Shamim about converting my friend's voice, right, to put on the Saber.
It's on the boot up, right, or the font selection menu.
Yeah, it's on the boot. It's on the boot. Uh-huh.
Boot, nice. Yeah, I think I did
And
hear something like that. I don't know if I actually heard. I can't remember.
let's see if he'll come up because
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
see here.
Please do. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Goodness, you're
Nope.
not one to try.
Let's see.
Goodness, surely we can be. Goodness, surely we can be civilized about this.
Come on,
Kenobi
James
wants to
Arnold
take.
Taylor.
Goodness, you're not one to trifle with, are you?
Kenobi wants to take over the show.
Surely we can be civilized. Surely we can be civilized
Oh
about.
my God, really? And I thought I had it.
Surely we can be civilized about this. Surely we can be civilized about this.
No, we can't, damn it.
Okay, we're civil. All right.
Goodness, you're not one to trifle with, are you?
Oh,
He says, "Goodness, you're
let's
not
see.
one to travel with." After you yelled at him.
Goodness, you're not one to.
Oh my God.
Goodness. Mama.
There we go. We got
Oh
it. He
yeah,
showed
got
up.
it. Nice.
All right. There he was. There he was. He showed up. He must have been sleeping, man. Too many beers. We took some beers down back in the day, man. So you'll probably had to reach him all the way up there before he woke up.
Yeah, he told Kenobi, here, do it for me a couple times at the
Yeah.
entrance.
Yeah, he's like pulling on his beard, like, right? Pulling on Kenobi's beard like this. Ugh, come on. I'm
James
not there
Arnold
yet.
Taylor's he's actually following me on Instagram because at ICC when I met him,
Oh yeah?
I'd like to say we're best friends. On the convention note though, I'm actually going to Star Wars Celebration in less than 3 weeks.
That's a bucket list for me, dude. That is a
I've been
bucket
wanting to
list for me.
go for many years. Since Weekends was canceled.
Rich says a Verso is cool, but I stopped using those until he updates the firmware. I need to tip drag and spark tip ignition. Yeah,
Tip Drag's pretty dope.
Jim. That is, man. I see that all the time on some of these vids, and I'm like, oh, there's one of my Saber woes. No tip drag yet. Ooh.
That's like a bonus, right? I'm not gonna get a Saber if it doesn't have if it's lacking tip drag or something like that. that's not really on the main chopping block. For me, it's mostly just NeoPixel, smooth
Hmm.
swing. Everything else is a
Right.
bonus, fonts and everything like
Yes,
that.
everything. Yeah, I totally agree. I
Yeah.
totally agree.
And I've
Now,
not seen
you
one
know,
yet to be tip drag like the activation for it, but then it lights up like half the blade. Because I
hmm
always wanted to do like one of those Qui-Gon on the Lucre Hulk Trade
hmm
Federation ship when he's like in the blast door, like he melts the wall. I've always wanted to do something like that with like tip drag. It would be pretty
that was
cool.
yeah, that is cool. Rich and Jim. Okay, so here's this. What do you guys think is the tip drag? Is that a saber will or a saber must? On there. Do you think it kind of you know, is it like a super must or a super like like you know, like Jay says, it's it's a bonus.
Yeah.
Or y'all like one of the individuals that have like gotta have everything on
Yeah,
there. I mean,
I
it's
was just
cool,
gonna
but
say there are some collectors that are like it's a must just because they want every applicable feature that they can get.
right, right. And I know for me, it really doesn't matter either. It's cool. I think it's cool,
Sometimes I
but
forget
it's
it's
not.
there.
But it's not for me. It's not necessary.
Yeah.
Um, and going back to the main deal of the show tonight too, Saberwoo is when you're working on stuff and you actually either run out of stuff or you don't have an item that you actually need, so it slows down your building time in terms of let's say you're going for a part and the part is out of stock, so you got to wait how long for that part,
Till they
right?
restock the boards and stuff. Yeah.
Right. And then or in my case, it was funny though. I find it comical is that as soon as I got the money, the part was out of stock, right? So as soon as they got the part in stock, I'm out of money.
Oh,
I found it I found it kind of comical because we were going back and forth, and I'm here trying to get the part. And sometimes it took months for me to get a part
oh yeah.
for this build. And I'm all like, okay, okay, he's not ready yet. So, but I'm sure some people, it kind of irks people that are like this close to finishing that build, and that one part they need takes either days or maybe even months to come in, and it's like, okay, I got to start on something else just to pass the time, and then come
Yo.
back to this.
And that, hey, and that's a woe that goes outside of saber building as well because I'm working on my commando droid, and back when COVID was, towards the end cycle where I am,
Hmm.
I couldn't get like 2-in-1 filler primer spray because the 3D print material just like cut down on sanding time and that completely like gone out of every Walmart, every Lowe's, Home Depot, what you name it, completely gone. And it took a
Wow.
while for that to get back in stock. And then when it did, it costed like another 75% more on the previous cost of it of one can of it. So yeah,
Wow.
that goes outside of the savers as well.
See, and that's kind of cool. I mean, I know some people. I had to kind of MacGyver my own little. I didn't have one of my woes is not being able to get a um soldier. What do you call it? Oh, for the fume extractor, right? So I'm doing this stuff without a fume extractor, and I'm starting to hear all these videos on how bad it is to breathe in the fumes and stuff. And I'm all like, okay, I got to do something here. So I MacGyvered it, and I made my own fume extractor here.
Let's go.
So in this part right here, I've got that what charcoal activated foam. Uh, so it when it sucks it in, it kind of binds all that bad stuff and throws out the good air and
Yeah.
leaves the bad stuff in there.
Has
And I
metal
got
in
a
your
whole
lungs.
So I'm all like, I had to do something, you know. Now I gotta figure out how to mount the damn thing to mount it to where it'll catch all those fumes and do it right. Right now I just got it sitting on the table, but
When
you know.
Windows solders, he is more machine than man.
Yeah, Jim. We miss Shamim too, man. Um, that's he had such great content and he had such an aura about him.
Such a
It's very
positivity, Yeah.
right. And it's really yes, Titan. Hail Shamim. It's so unfortunate that, a lot of people drove him from the community because he didn't want to deal with a lot of the ugliness that was coming around. But of course, life deals deals you cards and stuff like that. And of course, he had other things in terms of real life stuff going on as well. I mean, there's a time when you may have to say, hey, okay,
Mhm.
I'm done with this with this chapter of life. Got to start a new chapter, and this is where I'm headed.
I think
Um,
he's still like a little bit active. Like he goes to like the dueling events, I think, or something like that.
mhm.
So
I don't know why I really haven't heard in much of anything of him being out in the community. I'm sure he does though. I'm sure he gets together with a bunch of friends and I'm sure he works on quite a few of his own sabers as well, for personal, you know. Um it would be great if we actually had some of those videos back. I
yeah,
love the hilts, the hilts
dude,
that
that
he would do.
H.R. Geiger alien
Amazing.
Bane like style on the curve, and then it's the actual like xenomorph squealing in the font with the acid green. You're kidding me. That is
Oh
like
man.
that's the best.
Yeah, I mean, he did such an amazing job. Oh, and then that what is it that fire and ice one? I think it was just an ice saber that he did. I forgot which one it was, but it was just a totally iced type of saber that looks so cool. I would have loved to seen what he would have done with the F-16 from TCSS,
Oh,
you
dude,
know.
and with all the new tech that's actually out now, could you imagine what he would be doing if had he continued through?
He'd be blowing things away, dude.
He would be the guy.
He
He'd
would
be
be
the
the
guy.
guy. Yeah. Yeah.
Safe to say.
I mean, you know, and it is. Oh, Jedi Arms Dealer, what up? JDI. JAD is in the house. How much longer are you guys going? Just sat down to eat dinner and was going to jump in real quick afterwards. Sup, JT? Glad to see you back. Oh, well, it's going to be going on for a good while, man. Come on, Dave. Come on, buddy. Every single person turned at GE. It was all the Saber I bought last week. Oh man, I bet. See, Rich does amazing. I don't know if you follow Rich and Geo. Um, he does amazing work, dude. Rich is a oh, I tell you, the hilts that he does is amazing. And when I'm done with my father's memory, because he did the chassis for it. Just amazing work, dude. Amazing. Rich, I can't thank you enough for that, dude. I really can't thank you enough for that. Just amazing, amazing. TK is starts cooking. Start cooking. Funny. Jim says solder fumes put hair on your chest. I'll be pulling them out, dude. Shoot. And then if I don't, then I'll be looking like Chewbacca pretty soon, man. Oh.
Your hair starts falling out in patches. You're like a Chernobyl victim. Survive
Hubby, oh, what's it? What's it? Oh man, what is it that dude? Toxic Avenger. I look like Toxie, dude.
it. Slaughter
Felicia, what
man.
up, Felicia? That's funny. That is too funny. That is too funny. TK, it's a new leaf. Jim Titan. How about Saber with both CFX and Profi boards in it and toggle switch the Saber to go from one board to the other possible? Whoa.
Would that have to be like a wider hilt? Would that end up taking
I
any
don't
more
know.
space or?
I don't know if that would be possible because the two would be fighting with each other unless you can kind of
Well,
figure out how to coincide,
yeah, Titan's
the
saying like switch board, like switch from one board to the next, like through a toggle, like maybe like an auxiliary port or something.
that would be interesting though. That you have a great idea there, man. I mean, that's seriously. Rich, you're welcome, my friend. Anytime, dude, because I have to thank the people that, you know, are the ones that really deserve, to get thanked for a lot of their stuff is, you can't thank enough people for what they do. In the Saber community, everybody helps everybody, and you know, but there's quite a few that have, um, great work ethics and uh, great stuff, and it's amazing to see the quality of work that comes out, and those people need to be thanked for the quality of work that they do. I mean, you
Yeah,
just they don't get enough thanks. That's in my opinion, that's another Saber woe right there. Is there's so many people that don't get enough thanks for the work that they do.
yeah. Oh, dude, I think civilized sabers should be way up there. Especially just
They
for the
do.
dude, just for the
Yeah.
blades, just for the blades. Honestly. And Rich's comment, why two boards? That, you know what? I'll answer that. That's just in case you want everything new tech, and if you want to go back to something a little bit more nostalgic. I don't know why you would, but you have the option.
It'd
But
be
yeah,
like
dude,
a running a
it's a small world we live in because when I sent the message to try to commission, Christian Gale, I never even thought he would respond. And then when we got the gears and wheels moving, it's like, dude, I'm talking to the guy. This is the Star Killer guy. Him and Darth Alice are known for their Star Killers, and I'm working with one. So yeah, pretty cool how everyone helps everyone out like that.
it is. It's amazing. And one of the things that I found actually pretty killer is that there are so many more awesome people that are together in this hobby in terms of not being, like, oh, I'm the best at this and best at that, Not too many ugly people in the
Hmm.
community, which is pretty great, you know.
Agreed.
Um, and that really makes it worth coming in and talking about, something that we all love dearly as far as, sabers and building and so forth. And the camaraderie is really amazing as well.
That's what it is at the end of the day, anyways, right? We all like
Hmm.
Star Wars and we all want a cool lightsaber. So there's
Somewhat,
not there's not a lot of wiggle room for negativity and stuff.
right. What's so funny is that at work, I got my guys, they're individuals with special needs and stuff, but I kind of got them hooked on sabers a little bit. So they try to find my channel, or they'll find the lightsaber stuff on YouTube, and they'll put it on. I'll be out of the room and hear them. I'll have music on, right? I'll have music videos on. And about 20 or 30 minutes later, I walk in the room and there's a Saber video. I'm all like, dude, you're badass. I'm like, dude, you get a cookie or a juice, man. Here you go. I'm all like, dude, that's awesome, man.
Oh man, you got them talking about like crystal focus or any boards and like the more in-depth knowledge of the Saber community stuff. Then you know you've done a good job. It's just got a
Yeah.
Saber video just chilling in the background. That's awesome.
Yeah. Unfortunately, my boys are all nonverbal and stuff, but I mean, I think I've got one or two out of ten they can just make like very short sentences,
Oh, but they
but
get it though. They
they
understand.
get
Hey,
it.
they get it. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
and
get the
I got
pass.
one that keeps asking me, he loves my exit when I go, hey, Mundo out. He goes, Mundo out, Mundo out. I love this dude, man.
Awesome.
Oh, dude, it is awesome, man. It makes me feel good in the heart.
That's a
And
wholesome fan too. That's a fan forever.
right, right. And you know, it's amazing though that they can, uh, that they relay, that's teacher, teacher. They'll point to the TV and they'll go, teacher, teacher, and then they point at me and they look at the TV and they point at me and they go, teacher, teacher. Oh man, it just makes my day sometimes like that. And
That's good, man.
yeah. So Dave, if you're listening, man, come on if you can. He'd probably fallen asleep. He'd probably be falling asleep here pretty
Speaking
soon.
of which, I was actually gonna cut it here, and I said I would be like 20 to 30 minutes, but I'm at an hour now, and I'm glad I did spend it because we were talking, have a good time. But I gotta bounce out of here. But dude, thank you for having me on as always,
Oh,
and I can't wait to get back into things here now that a little bit stuff is cleared up. So
no, that's good. I was praying for you, man, that things got cleared up for you. And
appreciate it.
anytime, you're always welcome, to come on with me in the show. I'll always try to send you that email, man. So if you can make it, make it. If you can't, totally understandable, bro.
Thanks, bro.
And tell you talk to Charlie, tell him we said hey.
Oh, hey, I'll send him the link. He'll probably watch it all the way full, even when I'm gone. He's that kind of guy. But and yeah, Jedi Arms Dealer and Anthony and Gabe, Harris. We,
Who,
we all
me?
gotta. Yeah, you.
Yeah, you.
What?
He made
What are
it.
you talking about, me?
I was gonna
We
say
always have to talk about you. We
we
always have to talk about you.
I love
when I
that.
come
Thanks,
back, we
guys.
definitely gotta we
Cheers.
definitely gotta do some catching up. So
Yeah, for sure.
the seat is
Good
warm
to
for
see you
you,
back.
buddy. Well, I'll let you take it from here. I'm gonna
All
peace
right,
out.
man. You have a great night, man. Thank you
Likewise.
for
Thank you
coming
so
on.
much. Yep. Awesome. You are. Peace.
Peace. All right, so Dave, what tonight's deal is Saber woes, man. So
Oh,
that's the
Saber
topic
woes.
tonight. Yeah, so that's the topic tonight, man. And we got TK in the house, we got Jim, we got quite a few people in the house tonight, man. Titan's here, Rich is here, shoot, man. We got them all. And so Meg's probably asleep though. It's past his
Oh,
bedtime.
Tom. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's late.
Love you,
East
Meg.
Coast.
He'll probably see this later though. And let's see. Oop.
Yeah,
So I'm on
I've
the
had my
phone. I'm on the
share.
phone to me. So I'm sure, man, and a lot of stuff that you've talked about. What was one of your saber woes I mean, you've had a lot of them, and I know you've had quite a few of them. Um,
Got
but one
to
of your
learn.
most, yeah, what is one of your most like bite pain in the ass moment, saber woe for you? For
My
you.
very first, I remember this like it was yesterday. My very first Saber woe of all time was the first time I got burned on eBay hard. This was
Mm-hmm.
back right after the Master Replicas Anakin came out in 2002. And I
Mm-hmm.
want to say it was about 2003, 2004. And I wanted the EL version of the Luke Skywalker, which was the second Master Replicas release after the Anakin EL lightsaber blade release, and they were really hard to find. They sold out super fast. So there was a guy on eBay saying he had like 10 of them that he had snagged up, and he was asking like, I want to say it was like 150 each for them. And at the time you could get those
Mm-hmm.
for like $99. And
Mm-hmm.
so he had so I was like, I'll take two of those for sure, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is back when I first started doing eBay. I wasn't very eBay smart. And so I paid for him, PayPal, and he's like, all right, cool. I'll get him in the mail to you as soon as possible. A few days goes by, week goes by, 2 weeks goes by, a month goes by. And I'm like, dude, it's been 30 days. You know, what's going on? I've never had anybody take this long. And he's like, oh, you know, I'm waiting for him to show up from China, direct from the manufacturer. And I'm like, well, didn't you get him from Master Replicas? And no, man, I got like a direct overseas connection. So he's stringing me along 3
Oh,
weeks, 4
wow.
weeks. And I wanted it. I was so hopeful. And this was kind of before I knew you had to report it within 30 days to get your money back.
Uh-huh.
And so it was like, I want to say it was like 35 and a half days. And I started Googling stuff and I was like, God, if
Oh,
somebody
wow.
actually screws me on this deal, can I get my money back? And so then I saw the 30-day policy and I contacted eBay and I said, I have a feeling this guy's a scammer. And they were like, well, you definitely should have contacted us within 30 days. And back then eBay was hardcore. So
Wow.
Sabers never showed up and I was out 300 and plus tax.
Oh, wow.
And never and then the guy got his account locked and you know, they killed it on eBay. And so everybody that bought whatever those 10 Sabers he said he had, maybe he was telling people he had more. All of those people just got completely screwed.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah,
What up,
they shut
Quinn?
his account down. That's my first Saber
Wow.
woe. That was a financial
Mhm.
one.
Wow. Now,
Sucked. So I was pretty
in terms
bitter.
of building, I believe it, dude. I believe it. I mean, I'd be pissed too. Shit, out of $300, shit,
Yeah.
man. And to think that what you could have done with those, and then, oh, dude, man, there's a saber wolf right there, man. Just to think about what you could have had already done with those, you know, and
Well,
show them
what's
on
funny
here
is
and stuff.
I finally got a hold of one. It took about a year, but I tracked one down and it was sitting in my main Saber case. You can't see it. It's kind of up here. Let me point the camera up.
Mm-hmm.
Right there is the big super rare stuff case. And inside that case right now is the very first FX Saber ever made in Japan on Earth.
Oh,
But
wow.
for probably 10 years, I had that Luke green EL Saber in that case because, you
Mm-hmm.
know, I was just so like upset that that's how I got screwed the first time. So it was in that case forever. But yeah, that one hurt, man. That one hurt bad.
Wow.
But as far
Felicia
as
says eBay
building,
got her.
oh
Yeah,
yeah, eBay's, yeah, some people call it Evil Bay. I agree.
Evil Bay.
Yeah, man.
I'm very leery about eBay stuff. I mean, I think I bought a few things from eBay, but they weren't like super expensive. I probably say not more than like $20 at most. You know.
Right.
And that's just because I'm very leery about it. I buy more from Amazon stuff. Chet, what's up, Chet? Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Come on in. Let's have some fun. TK's all
Trying to
freaking
do
his
the reverse close up. Come on, camera.
own.
It's so weird. Every once in a while, it goes into blurry mode when I start messing with it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm on the phone right now, so I don't have. I mean, it'd be hard for me to do like all these close-ups and everything right now. So until I can get my computer up and running again, so it's like,
It looks and
and
sounds
then
good though, Mundo. It
yeah,
looks and sounds really good. All right, camera. Enough is enough. Come on back to me. Usually when I do that, I don't know what the
yeah.
heck's going on.
I I
I'll just
really wish I
pray.
had like
There
a.
we go.
I really wish I had like a little keyboard or something to work on the phone here, so that I could do all the stuff that space does, man. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, with all the
Yeah, I mean
yeah.
close-ups and then highlight stuff and everything like that. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, you set
my
up.
phone is so funny. Yeah, my phone is so funny though. I push one little button and it's like, crap. I'd have to start the whole show over again. I'm not willing to do that. So until I get my little setup and stuff. So right now I'm still working on. I don't know if you can see, but I'm working on my right here. I've got my entertainment center set up like this, and
Oh,
it's a
nice.
bit missing.
Yeah. You
I
sent
hung up
me
my TV. Yeah, I hung up my
you sent
TV
me
up
you
there
sent
and
me a
everything.
before. It's looking great, dude.
Yeah, so on part of it, I'll be above the towers, above the towers, I'll be putting like the Mandalorian pictures that I got from Hobby Lobby, and then eventually I'll deck out the insides with the LEDs and so forth. So the LEDs will turn on and they'll really kind of shine some light on the hilts because I'll have all kinds of uh, hilts and stuff in there and stuff like that. I've got
Nice.
a one of these big boys right here. This is for lanterns and stuff, right? But I
Oh,
picked this
damn.
stuff
That
up.
thing's cool.
This thing, man. I'm gonna LED as well, and that some bitch is gonna hold my uh eventually when I get the Graflex. That's going to hold my Graflex.
Oh, you going
So
for a vintage? Well,
eventually, but not right. You know,
yeah.
eventually, but not right now. Because
Okay.
it's just unless I find one. If I find one somewhere, when I have the money for it, I'm gonna start looking. My wife and I want to go to Magic Store, and they have all these old antique shops,
Hey,
and
Mundo.
I want to go. Yeah,
I don't know if
you
you can
there?
hear me too well, but yeah, something all of a sudden happened to you. Your audio got all robotic.
Oh,
Now you're back. I think you're
my
back.
audio got robotic. Oh,
Well, does that mean Mundo it dropped the call? Oh man. Cool. It's just me. So I guess Mundo will be back. He can let himself. Yep, there we go. Device not connected. Mundo. He must be trying to reconnect. There he is. Ding,
back.
ding, 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 ding. Are you back? Back.
In my backpack. I mean, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Can you hear
it's
me?
still a
Okay.
little bit funky. Yeah, hopefully it'll clear up. So go
Oh,
ahead. Let's see what
yeah.
happens.
You know, yeah. You know what happened? I know exactly what happened. Now, um, the stuff for my brain is getting scattered right now. um,
That's all right. I was thinking the same
it's
thing, TK.
my
As soon
stuff
as
is.
Mundo touched that, as soon as you touched that big glass thing, like you've been all robotic. It's
Oh,
got some
really?
weird force energy in it. Nah, it's still messing up, Mundo. Sorry, buddy.
It's
Yeah.
no kidding. Oh my gosh. No, actually, what it is, it's
Oh man, it just keeps dropping it. Interesting. Because I thought when him and JT were on, it was like rock solid the whole time. I had it on in the background. I was eating dinner. He's trying again.
oh yeah, what it is, it's the cable company. They're updating the cable stuff right now, so it's interfering with the signal stuff.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? I never did
Yeah.
talk to you again about what you found out from Spectrum when you were having all those issues a while ago.
Yeah, well, there's another part to that too. I found out that my dog's been chewing on some of the cable too outside. I was like, so I got to get it replaced. Like, it rained and so it exposed some of the the wire, under the mud and stuff. And when it
Yeah.
exposed, my dogs, they're super hyper, so they've been digging up stuff. They're only, they're two
They're like,
years
cool
old and they're
bone.
super hyper. Yeah, so it's like, oh my goodness.
Felicia.
But no.
Felicia says it's the SD card. Change the SD card, Mundo. I love that.
Right?
That's all it
It's
takes,
probably
man.
so
Just
full,
a proper SD
right?
card.
It's so full.
Well, you sounded
You
clear,
say,
whatever you did. So definitely keep sitting where you're sitting. Don't move.
no, right? I didn't do anything. I told you it's probably the cable company that updated their stuff and it interfered with the signal. So
I see.
it's like, so since he goes, so you're saying it's your fault, JD?
It is,
Laugh out
man.
loud.
It's all
Just
my
kidding.
fault. I came in and everything falls apart. This is my next Saber woe right here.
Yeah, right? Man. Oh, so let me show you. I don't know if you had been on just before or not.
I had you guys in the background, so I know you were trying to pull up your hey Pop, or what was it?
Right.
Your buddy. I haven't heard this quote yet. Right?
Oh, right. You haven't heard it. So you haven't heard it, huh?
Right.
So let's see.
I know you were trying.
Goodness, you're not one to try.
Yeah.
Surely we can be civilized about this.
So wait,
Let's see.
Mundo, does it matter what font you're on?
Surely we can.
No, well, it has to be the one with the font that I'm on is, I think it is the one with Kenobi, right?
CFX,
But
yeah. So it doesn't matter what font you're on. It doesn't have to be font 1, because I heard you trying to do this before, and I know that font because it's the Kenobi font on the CFX. So I didn't know if maybe you need to be on font 1, or maybe that is font 1 to hear his quote.
Well, it said, yeah, that's the thing, that I had put it on font 1, but it cycles through all the fonts every time I pull the kill key.
Goodness.
Wait, well, that should just reboot it.
Surely we can be.
Yeah, it should.
Surely we can be.
But it's weird because it cycles.
Surely we can be. Surely we. Surely we can be civilized about this.
I wonder if. Hold on.
Hit the aux button. Let's see what that. That's your. Oh.
Let's
well,
see.
I'm sorry.
Our guests have arrived.
Hit and hold the aux button, Mundo.
You can't win. Sumptuous. You're
Let's see.
wasting your time.
There you go.
There he is, right there. Did you hear it?
Yeah. Nice.
So that was him. That's his voice. That's my friend Roy. And you
had it on your answer machine or something?
No, I actually had it on my phone, right? Because he had called me.
Oh, okay.
And he left me this long he left me this long message, but each time that we had talked on the phone, each time I called him, he would answer, "¿Qué pasa, mama?" Yeah, so that was like his answer. Every time I called him, that was his answer. When he knew it was me, that's the way he answered me, right?
Yeah.
And it was just amazing and stuff. So one of the things that I wanted to show you, what I was showing everybody earlier, that from Albert from Smuggler's Outpost, send me some of that copper adhesive tape, right?
Oh yeah.
So if you could see, I kind of updated the Saber a little bit with that copper tape, man.
Yeah, man. Yep.
It looks pretty dope.
Neck. Yeah, it does.
Yeah. And then I put a little bit, and then I put it here, right? So I've got 3 spots that don't have it, and 3 spots that got the cover, that got the copper pot.
Oh, okay. Very cool.
So I have it like that, so it kind of coincides with the colors as well. It doesn't clash with the colors hardly at all, And the way I put the tape, I wanted the tape to look like copper was welded on top of it,
There you go. It looks great.
And so it was. Thank you. So yeah, it's I have to thank Albert Flores a lot, man, because he when he sent me that little sample, man, I took real advantage of that sample, and put it on that Saber quick.
right?
Shamim, he was the person. I actually went through two people, him and Rob Petkow, right? And at the time, Rob was pretty busy, and so Shamim, when I told Shamim the story about my friend, he didn't even charge me for putting my friend's voice on on changing the font. What do you call it?
Just the file format, wave mono.
The Yeah, the file
Yeah,
format. There you go.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah, and to this day, I can't thank him enough. I mean, I wish I could have him live on here and I could tell him straight to his face, thank you. I
yeah,
hope that maybe one of these days, these videos will get to him, and he'll get to hear that.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
it, it
Shamine's a
it would
nice
be a
guy.
dream. It would be a dream that he'd be able to hear it from me personally, so that he could hear that and know what he did for me.
Hmm.
uh, but also, me thanking Rob Petkow as well, because without Rob's videos and Meg's videos and your videos and quite a few others, I would not have been able to do this at all, to get my friend's voice on here and the Saber built. So thank you again, man. It really means a lot. And this Saber and my dad's memory saber, are going to be the most. It may not be. It will be the most valuable to me in my collection, regardless of any other hilts that I get. Those two are going to
Oh yeah,
be way beyond. And Rich. Earlier I was thanking Rich because he's the one that made the chassis for me for my dad's memory saber, and I had to thank him because he did such an amazing job on the chassis. Uh, and so when I sent him my father's memory saber, he did an awesome job. Sent me a video on what I need to do for it within the chassis and stuff. The crystal chamber came out amazing, and I mean I can't wait to work on it and really show it off because it's just cool, man. Um, so one of the going back to the main idea of tonight's show, Saber woes. I think once I finish those, the building those sabers, that's gonna be a saber woe in itself because you want to work on it, and not have it finished, but you want to finish it at the same time. Because
yeah.
I mean, but I get it because once you finish one, you want to go to the next one and
I
go to the
know it's
next one
so
and go to.
addictive. Yeah, here I am, 15 something plus years later. Like, whoa, I can't stop. It's so weird. It's very addictive.
But it's also soothing. I don't know if that is for you, but for me,
It
um,
depends.
it is soothing to work on stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just doing the wiring, doing the solder, putting the wires through the holes, all of that stuff. Just like the rest of the world just disappears, man.
Hmm.
And my mind is
Agreed.
just set on this thing of beauty, on this work of art, on
Hmm.
what we're doing. And
You want to know what soothes me is programming. There's something about it that like I just get in the zone. This is what I've been working on all week. I'll give you a quick preview of the Saber. I'm getting ready to do the video here. Hopefully in a couple of weeks. This is Jeff's Saber, right? And so I went on Fed
uh-huh.
263s and tweaked some things, and here we go. Bomb.
Ooh.
So it's
Oh,
FET slave one, and then you come out of
wow.
hyperspace.
Damn.
Yeah, that's the stuff I'm
Sweet.
like. You get to the end of the build, and you're like, all right, that was fun. It's quite satisfying. So that was cool.
Where's my
But
bloody shorts? TK's all, where's my bloody shorts? shots. Come on, PK, drink it.
But as
Yeah,
far as
Rich,
Saber
man.
woes
Thank
go,
you.
go ahead. I totally get it,
Um,
man. They would have been. Yeah. Yeah, I got
yeah, for sure,
some
dude.
memory savers. Well, yeah.
So one of the things that I was talking about as far as saber woes too, and like Rob at Ciroc Sabers and stuff like that that do amazing hilts, right? They build their own hilts. And
Yeah.
one of I believe that some people that do amazing hilts like that, some of their and this is just my opinion again, I'm not speaking for everybody as well. Um, some of the saber woes for them, for those individuals, they do such great jobs on works of art that they're almost sad to see these sabers go because they
Oh, I'm the
lose a
same
little,
way.
they lose a little bit of themselves for each saber
Yes.
that they sell it off, and you know um they it becomes a part of them, and then when they sell it off, it's like you sell a part of your soul out with that saber, and
Totally.
it's like so the feelings they get so strong that it's like, oh my goodness, what do I do now? No, I keep building. I build another one that I can sell,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm gonna sell another piece of my soul, out.
Mm-hmm.
But it's something that brings me a lot of joy as well. So it's like a love hate, a good and bad situation at the same time, because it's a labor of love making the thing, and then when you sell it, it's like, oh, I
Yeah.
should keep it. I want to keep it, but
Totally.
if I
Yeah, I
but if I
build stuff for other people more than for myself, so it's tough. Ugh, it's brutal. Like, because I'm averaging 6 months per build now, because there's so much more they can do now, and so I want to make
uh-huh,
it do everything it can do. And then now I'm into machining, with the crystal chambers and the pull-out chassis and stuff, instead of just like I was averaging 3 to 4 months. So I was like, okay, I'm trying to be zen. I'm not going to have a problem. I'll make this creation and let it go, and I'm zen, right? It's like the Buddhist
uh-huh,
thing. You work on something, you give your art away, right? That's what I was the mindset.
right,
But after it takes 6 months, sometimes a year, like in the case of the last two sabers I built, it's heartbreaking to put them in the mail. It really is, because I've spent so much time testing and designing and planning and programming, and it's brutal. So
yeah. So that
it's
is a
worth
big saber woe. Yeah.
it. Yeah, that in and of itself. That's true. I think
I
my I
get
think
it,
my
man.
I think when you asked me earlier, like as far as building goes, my biggest saber woe is when I was building the chassis for the saber that Space and I always draw on the
Uh-huh,
comic books,
uh-huh,
Illumos, the one that looks like a big crystal. The
right,
chassis for that, I used one of the first original run Frederick Hubinet Profi 1.5s, and I think I bought up like 15 of them when they came out, because I knew they
oh
were going to be
wow,
really hard to get after that first run. So I put one of
uh-huh,
those in there, and those had some issues, especially with the amplifiers. So I
mm-hmm,
wrapped it in this whole acrylic. Here, I'll grab it real quick. This whole acrylic chassis, right?
mm-hmm.
And
Get it straight, people. Illumos.
got it all done, buttoned it up, ready to go. And I was like, made the video. And then right after
Mm-hmm.
I made the video, the amplifier on the board crapped out. So I had to disassemble this
Oh,
this whole thing to get it out of there and replace it.
oh,
And that
wow,
right there is probably my biggest saber woe. Now I put the same exact board in it because that's all that was out when people were
uh-huh,
scrambling for the original Profi 1.5. The Profi, 2 hadn't come out yet. So that right
mm-hmm,
there kicked my butt rebuilding this thing just
wow,
because of an amplifier that died on it. The speaker just started sounding horrible no matter what I did.
mm-hmm,
But a new board fixed it, or another board. So yeah,
wow.
I've had my share. That's the only way you learn.
Yeah, Titan the Crystal Saber's badass, dude. Badass, man. badass.
Oh, thanks,
And
Ty.
let's see. Whoop, 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 whoop. One of the, one of the things that I also see in terms of Saber woes, though, is that you make certain fonts personal, and you make certain fonts like, okay, it's on there just to have them on there.
Hmm.
But then, and then there's times where you just are so undecisive. You're so undecisive. I want this, but I don't want that. And then you go through probably what, 15, 20 fonts, you test them all, you think like, dude, that would fit great. And then you put it on the Saber. And once you put it on the Saber, you're like, yeah, no. It's like, yeah, it doesn't really fit the profile of, the font just doesn't do anything for the Saber, you know?
Mm.
Yeah.
You mean
I don't
like the
know.
sound of the
Have you
font
gotten?
doesn't fit the design?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Oh gosh.
somebody oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, no, no. I was just gonna say, I've become such a like a font whore throughout my last 15 years. I have just too many. I mean, it's a great problem to have, but I've like downloaded every time someone's, offered up a free one on the forums, Facebook. I'm like, okay, give me that, and then I'll go in and like add more sounds. And so I've just been doing that for the longest time. So it's hard for me to pick like a favorite, but I do know what you mean. Like if you get it on a certain designed saber and you're like, nah, this isn't for this saber at all, Like for the crystal, I've
Hmm.
put all ethereal, floaty, kind of crystally sounding stuff on it. And there's been a
Hmm.
couple I've thrown on there and I'm like, no, that's coming off this saber. That's not cool at all.
Yeah.
So yeah.
See, that's what I'm talking about, man. I mean, there's so many. What? Okay, there are so many facets of saber building, and
Yeah.
it's unbelievable because you break
That's
off
why I
so
love
many, just like the crystal, just like the kyber crystal, right? You have all these facets on here,
it.
and you showcase the crystal, but you don't see every single facet that the crystal has. And you only showcase maybe the front part of it, right? You don't see the back of it. You might see part of the side of it. You might see part of the front of it, and you only see like the bottom part of it or something like that. It depends on the design, right? So in terms of design, in terms of all these different facets, when you come into saber building, and then knowing that, okay, you want this a specific way, but it doesn't turn out the way you were actually imagining it, and then you have to reimagine what you were trying to get across, but it takes you two or three times to actually get to where you were what you were envisioning, right?
Right.
And I'm sure that a lot of people kind of find it frustrating that you're building such a simple. Take for instance, my cut bullets crystal holders, right? You
Yeah, I
know,
was gonna ask you about those.
yeah. And so I couldn't decide how I really wanted some of those to work on in terms of, would I have the small little crystal on the end and then the big crystal here. Um, I see so many designs of crystal chambers, and then I'm like, what, if I do it this way and I do it that way, is it going to affect this? Is it going to affect that? Too many things go in your head. And then you start running your brain starts running 100 miles an hour on different designs, different things, how to set it this way, set it that way.
Yeah, it's
And you're
infinite.
like, shit. Okay, stop it all.
Now you know how
Stop,
engineers
just
feel.
take take one thing and work on that first and then build off of that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So yeah, no, I get how engineers feel, man, and I'm not even an engineer myself. I mean,
yeah,
it's just
right.
like, it's
Yep,
crazy.
me
It's
either.
crazy.
Yeah.
My
There's a lot.
goodness, it is.
That's what I love about it though. Is like it for me when I really dug deep into customizing and building sabers and chassis and crystal chambers. It's the only thing I've found on Earth that I use this weird set of skill sets that I've acquired over my lifespan. You know,
Hmm.
when I went in the military, I was in the Air Force, learned how to solder electronics. Then I got out of the military and I wanted to install car stereos. So I sold and installed car stereos. So I got to learn about sound and subwoofers and speakers and amplifiers and all this stuff, how they work. And
Hmm.
then after that, I was a DJ for 20 years. So then I got to learn how to like make music, how to make, you know, basically sound fonts in the end type of thing.
Hmm.
And then I was a graphic designer the whole time I was DJing. So then I learned how to, it helped me with 3D printing and like working the laser cutter and making designs on the laser cutter in 2D. And, you know, so that's really the only thing I've found that I can use everything I've learned. It's very strange. That's why it's so
Hmm.
satisfying for me. Yeah.
I see that is awesome. TK goes to Saber font whore.
Yeah. I like that. Let's put it on a shirt.
Right?
Right?
Right? Felicia, hats off to you guys. Yay! To you, Felicia. Oh man, she said she did a pic on Instagram with the Saber man. I like that's badass. That's cool. I'm so glad she's happy with it.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. TK, you
Thanks,
just
Felicia.
don't know it yet. And I am like so way behind more than anybody around, man. Because I think that's one of my Saber woes is like in terms of like sound fonts. I probably have like maybe two or three, maybe four sound fonts at most. I got to get a collection going, man. I don't have too
Well,
many Saber
oh, dude,
fonts.
I'll send you some on my
Mm.
free library. You just got to let me know how to get them to you.
Oh yeah, cool, man.
Of
Yeah,
course.
just I guess you can email them to me if you have my email. It's e underscore
I
Cabrera
do. And
Cabre.
yeah,
Okay,
I got it.
yeah,
Yep.
and you can just send them through there, man. And I bought another PCB board on Saturday so that I can start cutting that up to make some more boards for the what do you call it? I've got after this payday, I'm gonna order some more PCB boards, also the green ones that you liked. I'm gonna order some of those so that I can get those cut up and get a couple of those to you and Jared and a few other people. Um, and try to work on some of those cut bullets this weekend too. And Civilized Sabers SoundCloud.
No,
Oh,
I'm uh,
oh,
typing what my how to find DJ mixes that I've done over the
oh,
years.
DJ mixes.
Yeah, I was we were me and my DJ partner were Doctors of Rhythm. We did that for 20 plus years. And
Oh wow,
so yeah, you just have to search for Doctors of Rhythm. Oh wait, I don't know why it went
doctors.
twice. Interesting.
Hey, I sent you a few of those DJ things, man. I thought they were pretty cool because when I saw them, I was all like, "Yep, I think Dave will get this checked out. He'll check these out. This DJ, whether they're good or bad, I don't know. Dave will decide. It is Dave's decision." So, JD, do you have 1200s in your room there?
I do. I'll never sell them. I actually have three, but
Oh,
one's backup. But yeah, I love my 1200s. They've been with me since '89. So
wow.
old school.
Oh, my man, I was talking to my mom the other day, and she was like, I was telling her about the Graflex, cameras and stuff, and she goes, "I had one of those." I'm all like, What? You had a Graflex camera?" I said, she goes, "Yes."
She was
And, but
cool.
I, and she goes, "I sold it long, I got rid of it when I was younger, da 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 da." I said, "Did it have the flash?" part of it? The bulb?" She goes, I think so. I said, are you kidding me? You got rid of that?" She goes, "Yeah." I'm all like, okay, Mom, here, this is a serious question here. And I'm already freaking out because I was thinking to myself, if my mom had this, it would have been a vintage in my mom's closet already, right? And I'm thinking to myself, Mom, are you sure? Did it have the camera and it had the little gun part of it with the bulb and everything on the side? He goes, "Oh, the bulb thing? Like, no, it didn't have the bulb thing on the side of it." I'm all like, ah. I took a deep breath. I'm all like, ah. I was
Yeah, because
already
when she said
sweating
it,
bullets, man. I'm like,
yeah.
I was already, I was like, there's another Saber wool right there, right? I was all like thinking to myself, my mom had a
A
vintage
vintage
Graflex
Graflex,
camera,
and she sold
and
it in a
she
garage
sold it.
sale
And yeah, I'm all like, oh,
for
fuck, like,
$10.
damn. Oh, I would have like, I'm like, Mom, you know how much those things are going for worth right now? No. I
Yeah,
said, never mind. Never mind. I ain't gonna tell you.
that's
I'm
funny.
about ready to. I was about ready to cry, man. If she said yes and she sold it,
Hmm.
I'm all like, oh, a
I would
missed
too.
opportunity. A missed opportunity. A
My,
big whoa right there, right?
definitely.
Oh
One
my
of my new
gosh.
one of my new things is I've been doing on eBay is the crappier the better. That that's a vintage, man. I couldn't help it. I was like, oh, give
Whoa.
me that. Because I'm all into like
Right?
old beat up cars and hot rods. And so this thing came on eBay and no one wanted it. I was like, I'll take that in a second. That is so
Are
cool.
you
It's
are
naturally
you
aged.
serious?
And it
Yes.
and it was a Fulmer bottom. I was like, okay, mine. That
Oh, I
was
bet you got a good price for it too, right?
let's see
You got a
what
good
photo.
price for it?
Yeah, you can see
Yeah, I can
Fulmer
see
there
it.
at the top. Oh, I
Yeah,
did.
I can see it.
It was ridiculously cheap. I couldn't believe it. So
Oh,
I've been
see,
dressing
it's
it
just a
up,
man.
having fun with the core.
Oh, look at that,
So I've been
man.
playing with different filaments on the 3D printer. I came up with this.
That
It's
looks
pretty cool.
great, dude.
So that's
Man,
kind of
that looks
match.
great.
I wanted to match what was going on the
Yeah,
outside, all beat up. So yeah,
dude,
I'm
the
all about the
paint.
beat up stuff.
Oh, but the paint job is amazing, man.
This is just filament, Mundo. That's just it's so weird. They make these new filaments that are like 50-50 mix filaments. And so like, you know how
Yeah,
filaments round? Imagine if you
yeah.
cut it down the middle and put one color on one side, another color on the other side. So when it prints it,
Wow,
it does this weird like faded metal looking thing between copper and like gunmetal. Very strange.
wow. And that is that is super crazy, dude. That is
Yeah,
super crazy. But
I've
it's
been having
super
fun with my
cool too,
printer.
though, man.
Thanks, man.
See, eventually I'd get into that. I would love to get into that, but I have no earthly idea how to even start. I mean, I heard that they're kind of some of them are pretty affordable, printers and stuff like that. But when you got other
Yeah.
stuff to take care of first,
Yeah.
um, it's
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 time
it,
consuming. You got to be home too, because you don't want to run one with you not being home, because they can occasionally catch on fire. The thing gets hot.
really,
So, oh
really.
yeah, there's been some houses burnt down where
Oh
people are
wow.
just being reckless and leaving them. Now that's a Saber woe. You're printing a freaking chassis for your Saber and you burn your house down because you went to go get some lunch or came back thinking it'd be fine.
Oh
I have a
wow.
camera on mine, so if I run to the grocery store, which is literally across the street, I take my
Hmm.
phone and I turn on my camera on the 3D printer and I have it with me and I'm looking at it the whole time to make sure nothing, bad happens, because they have been
Yeah.
known to
See.
burn houses down.
Wow. See, mine would
Mhm.
I would put mine in the garage. I wouldn't have it inside the house. Where,
Yeah, it'll
my
still. Yeah. I mean,
my garage, yeah,
oh,
my
it's separate.
garage door would be open. My garage door would be open and I would have it
Yeah.
right in the middle. So if it caught fire, I mean, I'd have time to grab the hose or whatever and
Oh,
put that
okay.
fire out quickly. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, it'll never be in my house, and it'll never be in an enclosed area that would not have any exhaust area out.
Yeah.
That's
Let's see. Rich wants to know what
let's see.
pair I have.
Yeah.
Rich, I started out, gosh, right when the pandemic hit. I needed even an extra hobby on top of Sabers because I was home all the time, and I bought an Ender 5 Pro, and I absolutely love it. It took a little while to tweak it and get it into full dependable production mode, but now it's just a beast. It's, knock on wood, has not let me down in about, well, ever since the pandemic. So it's super low
And,
maintenance now that I got it tweaked. I love it.
and what program are you using with it?
I actually used the slicer software that came with it, which is made by Creality. It's just called Creality 123. It's a super
Mm-hmm.
stripped down version of Creality, or of oh heck, what's the big slice company? Cura. It's like a condensed version of Cura that's made specifically for the for their printers type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
Cindy goes, can't go wrong with Creality. Cindy,
yeah, I
or
love mine, man.
Iligo? Is that
Allego's good
Lego?
too. Yeah, for resin printers, yeah, Allego's the way to go. Yeah, Cura.
Resin printers, huh? Cura Christmas Alpha build is great with supports.
Oh, okay.
Rich says.
Yeah, I need to get in to start doing my own supports. I just tweak the automated ones, and so far I've had really good luck. But Rob was saying definitely put in your own supports if you want things to hang a little better.
See, and I'm like one of the things that I actually do like is the what TCSS pulls out to make the chassis the metal chassis right? I know some of it, some of the printed stuff and stuff like that, but I kind of find that
I
doing
love that
stuff like
style.
that,
Yep.
doing stuff like this, it is kind of pretty satisfying in terms of
It's Legos. It's Legos,
you
man, with
know,
lightsabers.
it really is, dude. It
Badass
really
Legos.
is.
I love
Yeah.
that system.
And I've probably gone through this damn chassis like 1,000 times already because of trying to put how I want the crystal chamber in it. This chassis actually, I know for sure is going to go into my Vader hilt. That I know for sure. And so, and as you can see, I already put the rods right here to hold the other rods so that you can't
Oh,
see.
nice.
Just so
Hide
I
your
put
wires.
I could those hide my wires. But they actually don't hide the wires. They actually hide these rods right here.
Oh, right. Okay. Yep.
So I'll have to figure out how to hide the wires later on, but I think I can, I'll figure something out. But what I'll have is the speaker will go, then the kill switch, and then well actually the recharge port, really, not the kill switch, but the recharge port. And then the the layers is going to have, I'm not sure if I'm going to put the crystal chamber. I think the crystal chamber is going to be on the very top of the chassis, so that when I take it out, you'll be able to see the crystal in all of its glory, right?
Yeah.
And then everything else will follow beneath it. And because you'll see the board, and I think I'm gonna have maybe 3, maybe 4 of those SMD LEDs, the red ones,
Mm-hmm.
maybe two or three, and I want to have it go back and forth. So since it's a Vader hilt, um, like I said, my brain still goes. The minute I'm talking about this, I know my brain's gonna switch over and say, "Oh, okay, let's do it this way," and then probably 3 or 4 hours later, no, let's do it this way. So I never really finish a certain design and before I get into a different, state of mind of doing something. So that's
Yeah.
why I started putting wires on here, and I'm not gonna put I'm not gonna put the speaker just yet because I want to
Got
give
to put a
my
big
brain.
speaker in that.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I may get one of those speakers from um, Smugglers, also like the 28 millimeter bass
Yeah.
speaker.
Yep.
So
Got
I'm thinking,
something like that. Isn't that the Vader from Master Replicas?
yeah, it's
The
an O
it's the
the
big one,
O3.
right? The one that's
Yeah,
like that's I have two of those, and I want to put something massive in there. I've not built it yet.
yeah, and
I love that Saber.
unfortunately, it's got the 18650 holder, but I'm all like, well, I wanted to put a 21700 in it, but I'm all right with the 18650. So
Did you ever find your
um,
grips?
I found 3 out of 6.
Okay, because I've been
I found,
experimenting with printing grips for that for you,
uh-huh,
and myself, and yeah, I don't know. I haven't quite got it perfect yet on the printer
yeah,
because you got to make
no,
the bottoms of them curved, and that's hard to do on the
mhm,
printer.
it
And
is.
print them.
I bet it's amazingly hard. I mean,
Yeah.
just the millimeters is affects everything.
Hmm.
So. And that's what I'm kind of learning as I'm listening to all these videos about the printing and stuff,
Hmm.
that the that just millimeters throws almost the whole thing off.
Oh yeah.
Um, Even if it's, maybe you have to sand it down to make it fit, or even the sanding it down, just even a hair too much, just makes a world of difference in it. you know
Yeah.
so um and could I mean, for those kind of things, it's like, oh wow. So I'm learning as I'm going, and of course, um coming in as a Padawan learner, and I can't stress this enough for those of you who are watching, these videos, and you're getting into it. uh, make sure that you take everything very slowly. If you're a slow learner such as I am, make sure that you read everything, you do your research. Earlier, we were talking about how people such as Lando Sabers that do their research, on companies of sabers. uh, he gives great content on who to go to, who not to go to, what you can do, and this and that. And then, of course, Benji at Nerf Herders, giving prices, what it takes to actually acquire a saber, or if you're getting into saber building, saber buying, what the costs are, what the parts are, this, that. He has an excellent video on sources like that. And
Hmm.
so, one of the um, one of the saber woes is that some people won't do their research. They jump in it like, you know, kind of like me almost. And, they jump into it running and not taking a step back and crawling to do, what you need to do first to see what you want. Look at this, look at that before you really buy anything. Because if you really want to be happy with what you have, or if you're saying, you go to somebody and says, hey, build me this, and you're expecting this amount of money to build you what you want, but that's not the reality. Is it's costing this much. You don't go to a barber and say, hey, cut my hair you know for $10, and but you want your hair cut, you know a $38 style, right? No, no. Your barber's going to tell you, no, that's going to cost $38, not $10. Now, do you want the $38 version, or do you want the $10 version? So, I mean, um, and
But you did
also,
it, Mundo. You did it.
huh?
I said you
I
did it.
did.
You know how many people I see buy everything they need and all laid out, and then I'll see them like a month later on Vader's Vault selling it all because they're like, no, I can't. I don't want to. It's too much to do. So you did it, man. Kudos to you.
Yeah.
Persevere,
Well,
man.
perseverance, but also, there has to be meaning in it. It's for
Yeah,
me. There's a
passion
lot of
driven.
meaning behind their saber, and I mean, I'm not one of those collectors that has to have every saber in the collection, so to speak. I'm happy with maybe two or three here and there, but I want my sabers to be unique in terms of how I feel about them, right?
Yeah.
And each person is different because there's some people who want sabers to collect all of these sabers so that they could say I had that saber or I have that saber. Yeah. No, I get it. I totally get it. Your collection is what you live for. The collection
Yeah.
is just like pops, just like any other thing, right? Um I am a knife and a sword collector. I get it because when I stopped buying metal swords and stuff, I still buy some here and there, but now my father-in-law kind of sends me some for my collection, each Christmas and stuff like that. So I have to, thank my father-in-law for that. So I get my itch for, a metal hilt, right? A metal saber or even a metal sword, and he sends me some crazy cool shit, dude. I mean,
That's cool.
you're I think the last one he sent me was kind of like a William Wallace type sword. And I've got some pretty cool swords, man, that I've gotten throughout the years, and knives and stuff from my father-in-law. So he sends me these, and so in terms of sword collecting, I find that lightsabers is another form of sword collecting, right?
Definitely.
So
Yeah, I've
laser
collected a
sword,
couple
but
swords.
yeah, and but with the lightsabers though, there's a lot more meaning, and like I said, the uniqueness of some of the sabers. You have some unbelievably unique hilts, and of
Thank you,
course,
sir.
uh, Rob at Ciroc. I mean, Jeremy. I mean, just everybody that I've seen. Benji. Oh my gosh, Benji's come out with some amazing stuff as
Yeah,
well.
they're all doing good work over there.
you,
Real good work.
very, very unique hilts, man. Very, very unique hilts. And it's the uniqueness, that brings out the greatness in people too. So, and again, that brings back to the saber woe of losing part of your soul when you make such a unique saber and then you sell it off.
Yeah.
Um,
I
let's
think for
see.
me, for me, it's like I'm addicted to seeing the machining. When I buy,
Hmm.
a lot of either canon hilts or non-canon hilts or expanded universe hilts, when I buy those, I want to see how they were machined, how good the machining was. Like I just love something about the way the metal is cut. It's and how what good the threading's done, and all that is just super fascinating to me. Almost as probably just as much as like the electronics and the install part of it. I like
So do you
seeing.
find you do you find yourself trying to rate the metal cuts and stuff? So when you
Oh
when you
yeah,
find those
in
hilts,
my head
do you
I'm
like
like, damn, they're good, or ooh, they're not so good. If I spin it, it cuts my hands. No, they don't get a good grade. But I mean, I'm so bad about it, Mundo. I just bought literally, and I need to put it back together because I hated it so much I ripped it apart. But it was a 35. I just had to know what a $35 Chinese. It's this mini metal saber that looks like Qui-Gon's saber, and they don't show
uh
you scale when you buy it. So I was like, $35 for a metal saber, and it only comes with like an empty hollow 2 foot blade. I was like, well, I gotta see what this thing looks like and sounds like. It's horrible. So I gutted it right away, and I was like, I want to see if I can turn this into something badass. I'll put it back together and bring it on the next show. It's hilarious, so funny.
That's
35 bucks.
that's another point. That's another point, man. Some people can do that too. I mean, you take a real shitty ass hilt and turn it to something amazing, And then you've got some of these people that looks like amazing, or actually they kind of steal people's pictures and you get this real crummy piece of crap that's like, man, it makes you
Oh
wonder why
yeah.
those people are even around.
Well, that's the thing. They set up a website, they make some money, and then they shut it down, or they get shut down, and they just open up another website, and just that they're just scamming. That's all they do. It's really
Yeah,
hard for companies like Facebook to stop all of that, because how do they know what's legit and not legit? It should be a number of complaints out of the gates, shut
yeah,
somebody down like that. If you get 20 complaints right away on a company that
right.
everyone's saying spam, spam, and then they look into it and see that website doesn't exist,
Hmm.
then they Facebook should be better about shutting that down. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, and but I mean, it also, you know, also falls on some people that, if it's like the saying goes, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably
Yeah,
is,
totally.
right? And if you're not willing to put in the work on your research on where to get your hilts, and especially if you see these hilts that go, they're telling you that it's $35, but it looks like a $400 hilt, from this other website. You see this person over here that goes, ooh, I can get that hilt for $35 and I don't have to spend
Yeah.
$400. I don't have to
Yeah.
spend $400. Well, guess what? You send them your $35 and what do you get back? A piece of plastic shit. I mean,
Oh
hey,
yeah, that's criminal. Totally. I've
you
seen the
know,
I've seen the review videos on that they thought they were getting something metal, and then it's like worse than like a plastic Hasbro toy.
right?
So
I'm like,
sad. That
dude,
stuff
you
makes
were
me
better off.
crazy.
You were better off just buying the metal and running on a lathe yourself, man.
Hmm.
Even
Yeah.
if you fuck it up, at least you tried. Oh,
Yeah.
it would have
Yeah.
been some money well
This thing
spent.
I got in the mail was metal, but it was literally like a half-size baby Qui-Gon. It was so I just started laughing when I opened it up. I was like, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen. It has a soundboard in it, and it has like super late delayed swings, and you hit the button and like a second later it clashes or blasters. It's hilarious. I was like, I had to see this thing. It was just nuts. So lame, but just funny.
Tickets. Yeah, like Mundo said, that's passion. Yeah.
We don't need that, Disney. Well, hey, Mundo, I had till 9:45, so I'm gonna go. We're all shutting it down here, going to bed. So
Yeah, I'm uh
this is
I'm
awesome.
pretty much gonna shut it down here too, man,
Okay,
because it's already midnight here on my side. So
okay.
uh
You want to
yeah,
stay on,
man.
or you want to shut it down now? I'll stay on with you while you shut it down. That's up to you.
Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down now. So TK, let's see, Rich, Z, all you guys, Felicia, Titan, man, I can't thank you guys enough for coming on, hanging out with me tonight. Really, tonight my brain was like, well, should I do the show or should I not do the show tonight? And I got some
11:45.
inspiration. I really got some inspiration for the show, and in terms of knowing what I was gonna do tonight, because I was thinking about doing some of the comic book stuff, and then I was like, I did the comic book stuff last time. I'm gonna go ahead and stick with Sabers this time, and the woes, I have all kinds of parts all over my table, and I'm thinking to myself, I ain't got no clean table, so I'm not gonna do any work with the Sabers tonight. And then I know, like, oh shit, that's a woe right there. But like, bingo, Saber woes. So, and oh my gosh, it's been a 2 hour show tonight, man, and
Ruh-roh.
you know
You've been juggling
it's
guests, man.
been
Well
great.
done.
Yeah, it's been great. It's been great, man. So we're gonna end tonight, and again, thanks everybody for stopping by. And Mundo is out. Peace.
In here, we pour whiskey.